Hey all, I this is the final episode for series 1. This is my top 5 ranking episode, and so I'm going to go down my top 5 for this particular series. Series 1, I thought I actually really liked Christopher Eccleston. I thought he did a fantastic job establishing himself as the Doctor over series 1, and I thought he did a fantastic job of reestablishing the series to where it was had a good base to start from, for David Tennant to take it to the heights that he did, and for Matt Smith to take it even higher than that. And so I thought it set it on a good trajectory. There were a lot of solid episodes in this season. There were about 2 or 3 standouts that I'll go over, but there were a lot of solid episodes in this season. I would say at most you had maybe 1 or 2 that just really didn't hit it on every cylinder, but the rest really did a fantastic job in this series. And so with that, let me go ahead and get started on my top 5. Number 5 has to be the ending two-parter, Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways. I love the way they ended this, and I love the setup that it gave for David Tennant going into the Christmas episode and then into series 2. I thought they did a fantastic job with wrapping up with essentially hiding what exactly the threat was that we were dealing with, and then making the Daleks seem so overpowering that you just didn't know how you were going to get out of it at the end. And then to have the creativity of having Rose take the time vortex into her head and having her have those powers, but really unable to control them like she would have wanted to. It did allow her to eliminate the Dalek threat, but there were other pieces to it that she just couldn't control. And ultimately, one could say that her taking that into her head was what resulted in the Doctor having to regenerate as well. So, but that two-parter is my number 5 for stories for this series. The rest, believe it or not, are all one part stories. So with the next one, I've got to go with Boomtown. I really thought the tension shown between Margaret and the Doctor, and the tension shown between Margaret and the other characters, was really well done. I thought the pain and the stress that Rose going with the Doctor and being on the go with the Doctor all the time, the stress that puts on Mickey, the stress that puts on the relationship, was really well shown in this episode, and I thought they did a really good job bringing that out. I just thought, being a character development episode, they just did a fantastic job with those little pieces. I thought everything in that sense, they did a very good job with the just all developing each one of those characters to some degree, with maybe the exception of Jack. I mean, Jack didn't develop a ton in this episode, but it at least established the fact that he had been traveling with Rose and the Doctor for at least some period of time after the events of Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. So that's my number 4. Number 3, I went with The Unquiet Dead. I love this historical piece, and I thought they did a fantastic job with it. The character of the assistant, the mortician's assistant, was fantastically played. Eve Miles did a fantastic job playing that character, and the development to where she had to sacrifice herself in order to be able to prevent the Gelf from coming in and taking over the Earth was fantastically developed. The sadness within that, the sacrifice, the potency of that particular aspect of the episode. Charles Dickens, I mean, who can't love an episode that's got Charles Dickens played in it? And I thought the actor that played him did a fantastic job in that episode. Just all the different pieces about it come together to bring together a fantastic historical piece with sci-fi elements in it. And that's what I love to see when they do a historical piece like this. Number 2, so I've got two that I'm deciding between, because if you remember my rankings from the early episodes, I went by those. I wanted to make sure that I was standing by what I had stated earlier, and so everything is coming together from those rankings. And so where I end up is I have End of the World and I have Dalek. And those are the two episodes that are my final two. And in the end, I had to put End of the World number 2. I love what they've done in terms of setting the sci-fi pace of the show. I love the futuristic aspect of it. I mean, just some of the comedy bits that were within it, but also figuring out little by little over time within the context of that episode exactly how sad the Doctor is, exactly what kind of pain and what kind of pressure he is under because of what has happened in his past. And we don't know a ton about it yet, but we are starting to get bits and pieces, and more so than we ever did in Rose. Rose was was trying to establish the new series. This piece starts to get some character development, but also lets us take a look at the future, gives us some kind of concept of where our future goes in this particular universe that we're working in Doctor Who. And just a lot of the little pieces, a lot of the, like I said, the character development, the ability to establish the tree character that the Doctor ends up having help him to get what he needs to happen in order to be able to salvage the people on the ship, and her sacrifice for him in that episode, and the power and the breadth that she brought to that character in such a short amount of time. Just to me, it establishes the length and breadth of this episode. I thought it was very well done. I thought they did a very good job with that. And that leaves Dalek. Dalek is a phenomenal episode, and I know there are a lot of people out there that really, really like this episode. To me, just saying I like it doesn't do it justice. I thought the tension in the episode, the ability to establish the Dalek as a genuine threat, the build up throughout that whole episode to the ending, the establishment of the gentleman whose facility that was, the establishment of what kind of character he is, the creepiness of him, the fact that he is like almost any other bully. When push comes to shove and he's the one that's threatened and ultimately his life is at risk, he becomes to some degree a coward at that point. And so it's just fascinating to see that whole episode develop. But more so than anything else almost is the development of the Dalek and his regeneration under Rose's influence, and the humanity that gets infused in him and how that affects him. To me, those are a lot of the pieces that really bring out and make this such a powerful episode. It's the human aspects of it, the humanity infused into the Dalek, and in the end result, what makes the Dalek almost as though he has an illness at that point, because humanity has been infused in him, and he's starting to think, he's starting to feel, he's starting to get those human aspects about him. And ultimately what Rose and the Doctor find out is, for him, that's more pain than it is anything else. The only thing I didn't like about Dalek, and it just touches me right at the end of the episode, but I can look past it because all of the other great aspects of it. But the only piece that I have a tiny problem with is almost the assisted suicide concept at the end, where the Dalek is in pain, it's in suffering, and he has to ask Rose for orders to actually destroy himself. And that trends a little bit too close to home for the assisted suicide aspect of it. And so that's the only thing that kind of gives me pause in the episode. But I can buy that just in this particular situation because of the sci-fi nature and because the rest of the episode in terms of character development is so well done. So This is my final video for Series 1, and I've had a blast making these 4 videos for you. I will continue to make these videos on into Series 2, and I plan on doing videos all through Series 10 with the idea that I hope to have everything done by the time Series 11 starts, so that when Series 11 starts, I'm going to start doing review videos for each of the episodes after I have watched them. Probably, I'm guessing that the new series is going to be on Saturdays, with the idea that I would probably do, a short 10, 15, 20-minute review with my thoughts and my concepts of the episode on Sunday, and kind of give you an idea. And I may have a guest appear every so often, be it my wife, who likes to watch the episodes with me, or if I can get one of the kids to watch 1 or 2 of the episodes with me, I might have them appear and kind of give some of their thoughts as well. So, and you may also see my former, or not former, but my podcast partner from Toller's Jack and the Doctor. I may try and bring her in, may try and bring Tamara in and see if she wants to join me for an episode or 2, just to kind of bounce our thoughts back and forth. Do something in the vein of what I'm doing here. Maybe not do the full Toller's Jack and the Doctor treatment that we used to do. So we'll see. We may even do some Toller's Jack and the Doctor episodes too, but I don't know. We'll have to kind of play it by ear. But I just wanted to let you know I will be continuing to do these. Like I said, I want to have everything wrapped up through Series 10. By the time Series 11 hits, I may do different things here and there. Once I get done with Series 1 through 10, I will probably go back and start to do a little bit in terms of the classic series as well. And I'm not exactly sure I'm going to do that, if I'll do it for each serial, each 4 episode serial, or if I'll do, a couple stories, watch a couple stories and then do it, or exactly how I'm going to go about that. Doctors 1 and 2, I do have fashions or ways of at least listening to the episodes, so I'll at least have that capability to do that. But this is kind of how we're going to go, at least for now, is I want to do Series 1 through Series 10 before I even try and start on some of the classic Doctor Who. But I appreciate your watching. If you like the video, please give us a like down below and kind of give us some comments as to what you liked about the video. If you didn't like the content that you're seeing, I'd appreciate it if you hit the dislike video, and also give us some comments about what we could improve in terms of the Doc Who cast. The other thing I would ask is, if you really liked what you've been seeing on the channel and you'd like to give us a subscribe, on Husker Fan Chuck, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. We'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'd love to be able to chat with you a little bit more about subscription and everything else. At some point in the future, I may look into doing some benefits for subscribers and things like that, but that's going to be a while in the future. I've yet to even get 1 subscriber, so at this point I want to get some subscribers under my belt before I actually go to that aspect. I appreciate the views you've given me already, and I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope you've enjoyed Series 1 with me, and I look forward to doing more content for you here in the near future with Series 2 and beyond. Thanks a lot. You all have a great evening, and Husk on!